One. Apparently we are live. If someone can do a check on that, would greatly appreciate.
Hello,
yes, it says
Internet,
live now.
ghosts and goblins. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance 5,000 years in the future when this is being dug up from the apocalypse Earth after we've settled on Mars and Earth has fallen into enough ruin and internal wars that it no longer is a habitable planet.
Very optimistic to think that we'll make it long enough to make it to Mars.
Yeah, but that's a terribly bleak outlook on the future.
Depends.
It's getting increasingly detailed.
We have sources.
All right. I am very curious, once we have an audience, what the sound quality is.
Oh yes, I'm hoping that it has improved.
It sounds decent to me.
Okay, I went ahead and hosted you on my channel.
Oh, thank you. You are so kind.
I'm very excited.
And I'm also dropping a plug to the link to the stream in all the streamer Discords that I'm on.
Nice.
Thank you.
Dallas, before we get started, are we supposed to be able to move our characters?
Oh, I was getting there.
Okay.
Do we move the characters? We don't know.
No, they move of their own accord. Like ghosts.
Dallas moves the characters, and we tell Dallas what they're doing.
Yes, the entire night. All of my back and
Move
forth
the
pacing.
Pastafarian. I would just like to point that out.
It looks like my man Scott's in the Twitch chat.
I can
Hello.
move the ones that have names now. Can we all do this?
We are all powerful.
So much power.
I am trusting you all to be civil with one
that
another.
was your first mistake. My God.
Those seem
Though,
like
if you
unrealistically
finally
high expectations.
Slap someone silly across the living room, you might need to, add a little drama.
Drama is my middle name.
Is it? Does anyone
No,
know your name?
Wait, my real middle name or my character's?
Either.
I mean, I don't think anyone on the internet knows my real middle name unless they're friends with me on Facebook.
Dun dun. Down. No, it's this one.
Oh, there we go. That is what our night's going to be like, and I'm here for it.
So many of those. I'm ready.
I am really hoping this, for anyone tuning in, this is going to be a really weird roleplay game because there's no stats. There might be dice rolls. We'll see if we get there.
There may be some stabs.
There might be some stabs.
There's at least one combat.
Likely going to just be dialogue and intrigue, and we'll see how it goes. I trust the actors, but there's not a lot of NPCs, so a lot of this is going to be me going with the wind-up toy and seeing what happens.
And here
Well, that sounds fun.
we go.
But for purposes of introductions, should we do our normal go down in order? When you introduce yourself, I would like you to introduce the character you are playing and their relation to the host. And so for science, I will go first to explain who the host is and the premise of this evening. I am Dallas MacArthur. I'm one of the co-DMs on this channel. I am running tonight's game, for what it is worth, and I will be playing the host, who is Arthur Collinsworth. He has invited a plethora of people to his house for a dinner party.
Well, then I guess would it bounce back up to me? Hello, my name is Anna. I am a co-DM on this channel, and tonight I'll be playing Fairman Richard, or Richard Fairman, depending on how you pronounce it, and I am a banker this evening, a business associate of the host, and, well, I think this whole thing could have been done over correspondence or during our usual meeting. I'm quite inconvenienced by all this, I'm sure. Any other details you need?
That was perfect. Elliot, would you like to follow suit?
Hello. I am Elliot, as always. And I am Detective Archibald Worthington. You see, the host and I, we go way back. All the way back to the war. And, yeah.
Astute.
That's all.
That makes you up, Jacob.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm Jacob, Jack Shillow. My character. Hello, my name is Webster Strange. My car seems to have broken down up the road. I was just wondering if I could use your phone for a moment.
I'm glad I didn't go with a German accent, because what a faux pas that would have been.
Chad, that's you.
Oh, that is me. Hello, everyone. My name is Chad. This evening, I will be playing the role of Rosalind Garfunkel, and I am the spiritual guide of the Collinsworth family. I am at the Pastafarian Church, and I am so thankful that they have asked me to come and be a spiritual guide tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. I would ask to take your jacket and or hat, and then would show you to the dining hall. I am Sinclair Jones, the butler, secretary, public representative, and so on and so forth to Mr. Worthington, or Collinsworth. If you need anything, do not hesitate to ask. I would be more than happy to assist. And I'm Casey.
Hi, I'm Amy, and tonight I will be playing Teddy Navarre. You have all most certainly seen me. You all know me. You've seen me in any number of films. You've most likely seen me topless. That did get a lot of publicity. Maybe not the publicity that I would have chosen, but here we are.
No, we all caught that one in the theater.
Yes, we did.
Quite stunning performance, I might say. Yes.
Is that what we're calling it these days?
All I did was run through a forest.
It was enough.
I'm Lydia, and I will be playing Ada Collinsworth, or Adelina, or Mrs. Collinsworth if you absolutely must be formal, but please, Ada is fine. Wife of the host.
All right. I am going to go ahead and line up the tokens in the order everyone arrives. And as by way of character introduction, we're going to do some visual description and then possibly some banter with the host. We'll see how it goes. So first, Ada, would you go ahead and describe what people see when they see your character?
Sure. She's dressed pretty fancily. In a stylish white dress. Comes all the way down to the floor. Hair done up with a fancy little doodad. And carries herself about as formally as she can, but also familiarly with everyone.
With an exasperated sigh, the host, Arthur Collinsworth, dressed in a spotless blue suit and snuffing out what remains of a pipe, a filthy habit that he does not publicize, comes strolling briskly down the stairs. Yes, Adelina, the guests will be here any moment. I trust you prepared everything.
Of course, darling. Artie, always worrying. Good grief.
I worry because of history. You understand.
Oh, pish posh.
Sinclair, are you quite prepared? Is dinner ready?
Yes, dinner will be out momentarily. I have already set to the dining hall, and I'm ready for the guests to arrive.
Excellent. Arthur doesn't make eye contact with the butler. Instead, he straightens his tie in the mirror. But Sinclair Jones, would you like to describe your character for the audience?
Sinclair Jones is a rather tall male. He has nicely cut hair, kind of in the slight comb over. He's in his 50s. I know that the picture has him in a black suit, but I picture him in like one of those red suits with kind of the gold lining and buttons, and he holds himself every so much as the best of butlers would. Excuse me, Mr. Collinsworth. May I help you with that? And reaches out and straightens his tie for him.
Thank you, Sinclair. Whatever would I do without you?
I do not know, sir. I do not know.
I will be in the dining hall. Do escort the guests right in.
Nods, not that he would see it.
Aleda, do you have... I'm saying your name wrong. It's Adelina?
Adelina.
Adelina. That makes more sense. Adelina, do you have any words for the butler before the guests begin arriving?
Oh, no. Sinclair is perfectly capable of handling everything.
Well then, Richard Furman, you are the first to arrive. Would you like to describe your character for the audience?
Oh, sure. Well, Furman Richard looks tired, as if he woke up a few days ago, and was already tired when he woke up a few days ago. He strolls in finely dressed attire, and is in a full black suit with top hat and cane, all of which he readily hands out for the butler, and immediately begins looking about the room, seeing if any decor has changed since his last visit to the estate, wanting to make sure that he has in fact stayed on top of all of the fashion and whatnot. He is about 56 years old, though, if anybody asks. He'll avoid the question. It's a sensitive subject.
Since your last visit, there are little statuettes of either lions or dragons or angels at every single doorway.
Oh, are there now? Well, that's some interesting symbology there. Angels, you say? Well, I'm sure we have nothing to fear from that. Nothing at all, no.
Sinclair, Richard, any words for each other as you are taking coat and cane?
Yes, Sinclair would take the coat and cane and hat and say, "Why, Richard, such a surprise to see you tonight."
Oh, how do you do there? Sinclair, I trust all is going well.
Yes, looking dashing as usual.
Oh, just a spot of the old clone, you know. This is quite a small affair tonight, is it not? Not one of those lavish dinner parties.
I believe so. I am supposed to escort to the dining hall. I'm sure you haven't lost your sense of direction yet, but giving a small chuckle and kind of gestures towards the grand hall doors behind Adelina.
Oh no, but do walk ahead. I'll take a moment to enjoy the view around here.
Well, I would not show my face in front of the host without a guest.
Pity. Then I'll join you. Yes.
As you walk into the dining hall, Arthur gives you a characteristic sideways grin. Ah, yes, Dick. I knew you'd be the first to show up. Do you still take your bourbon straight, or are you getting soft in your old age?
That's quite a loaded question there, isn't it? You know I only drink whiskey.
Always thought I could slip you the bourbon. But to his credit, Arthur does slide a whiskey over.
Richard takes the glass and nods to him. Does not drink. Well, I see.
You still don't trust me after I replied to your buyout offer with just that whisper of poisoned food. Wouldn't have even killed you.
I take great care of my intestines, thank you. No trips to the gastro this month.
Well, I am glad you're here. If nothing else, you must see how my wife has redecorated the house. Quite stunning. A brilliant show of all of our returns this quarter.
It may be, though some items do ring of, a bit unpatriotic, I think.
Unpatriotic? Richard. Seriously?
Yes. You must follow the symbolism. It's very important, but I don't expect those things to weigh as heavily on the young as they do on me. But I will appreciate the aesthetic all the same.
Well, do have a seat, Dick. I'm sure the others will be along shortly, and you will find them very entertaining. And patriotic.
Oh, entertaining, I'm sure.
At this point, it should be noted that Arthur Collinsworth, the host, made his fortune selling specialized hand towels, specifically ones embroidered with rabbits and bunnies. Apparently that's big business.
But if you...
Many were skeptical when he started. What was that you're about to say, Richard?
Oh, you're calling me Richard now. Thank you. But if you insist on calling me Dick, we can have a private conversation elsewhere.
Rosalind, go ahead and give the audience your physical description.
That's Rosalind, thank you.
Rosalind, I apologize.
Pay it no mind. Rosalind Garfunkel. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dallas.
You first. I was just nudging the physical description out of you. That is all.
Oh, fair enough. Rosalind Garfunkel is a woman about her mid-40s, give or take. She is dressed in traditional Pastafarian garb, of course, as a pirate. She is very, very proud that she was able to become a minister of the great Pastafarian church. And she is so happy to be here. And as you can see, she takes her faith very seriously. And she will make her way to the door.
Good evening. Was it Rosalind, I believe?
It's Rosalind, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I haven't met you, but Collinsworth told me it was Rosalind. But I'm very glad to have you. I'm very glad to have you here this evening, Rosalind. May I offer to take your hat?
That will not be necessary. I must wear this at all times, you see.
Very well. If you would like to meet with the host, he is this way to the dining room. Right.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Mr. Sinclair, I do have to ask, are there appropriate colanders within the house? It's very, very important.
We have quite a wide selection of colanders.
Are they being used in the appropriate manner?
I am not one to say what the appropriate manner for a colander is. You would have to speak with the cooks about that.
It is not for the cooks to be using. Oh, dear. Ada has not told you anything, has she?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, that's
I look forward to your guidance this evening.
Oh, believe me, we shall be saved tonight. I promise. But we must follow the guidance. But please take me where you must.
Yes, it's right through this door. Mr. Collinsworth will see to you.
Thank you, Sinclair. I very much appreciate it.
Minister. Arthur doffs a fake cap. It is so good of you to bless us with your presence here tonight. I understand if you are far more interested in seeing my wife than I know the two of you have a bit going on in town. But welcome, and I am glad you accepted my invitation.
Arthur, it is a pleasure. Ada, dear, how are you doing?
I'm well, and you, Rosalind?
Oh, I'm doing quite excellent, but I must say that I am very disappointed in how you are not adorning your appropriate headwear.
Oh, come, darling. It's fine. At least I have headwear.
You don't understand. I asked Sinclair where your colanders were, and he said they are in the kitchen. What is wrong with this?
Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Come. Why don't have a seat? Have a drink?
Ada, you know, unless it is pure spaghetti sauce, you know I must not take it.
Well, I'm sure we can find some.
Well, if you can find some, holy ragu, maybe I might partake, but unless it is something along those lines, I must turn it down, sadly. Woman of the faith, you know.
We knew you were coming. Don't be so quick to judge that we wouldn't have anything for you, dear.
Okay. Fair enough. Please.
I'll go check in the kitchen. Make yourself comfortable.
I'm so sorry to be so riled up, but I just want you to know that we need to make sure that you and your husband are safe. You will not make it to the great bear volcano in the sky if you do not partake of what is spoken. But I digress. I will sit down. Just please bear in mind what we've talked about at church.
Of course.
Well, if anyone here needs to be saved, it's Dick over here. You should have a long conversation with him, Minister. I'm certain his soul is in desperate need of attention.
Oh, Richard, is it?
Right over here, Minister, was it?
Yes, Minister Garfunkel, but please do call me Rosalind.
Now what the hell are you on about?
Oh, my dear, dear lost bull. You do not believe in the great flying spaghetti monster, do you?
Fearman will look back over to the host. Is this what you've been up to with your time?
And resources. My wife and her quite get it on in town. Apparently, there's endless need for my financial aid in charities and whatnot. I am a little bit stingy, but only appropriately so.
Huh. Well, do I address you as Minister, we introduced as Garfunkel, Rosalind,
Please, Richard. I am only known as a minister at the Spaghetti Warehouse. Please, just call me Rosalind.
Rosalind. Well, and you are not a charlatan or performer. This is your sincere faith?
Why, my dear Richard, there is no other faith but that of his noodliness.
I see. Well, then I am pleased to meet your acquaintance, madame. And Richard will offer his hand to shake Rosalind.
Rosalind will in turn put her hand out in reception.
And I dearly look forward to getting to know you this evening, whatever our philosophical differences may be. Ma'am.
Well, Mr. Fern, if you do have the time, I would love to speak of the word of his great flying spaghettiness, but I do digress. If we can save that for a later time.
Sure. Now, do you anoint people with Alfredo or pesto?
Oh no! That Alfredo, that's blasphemy.
Oh.
Blasphemy. You understand that I belong to the flying spaghetti monsterism sect, the main sector of Pastafarianism. However, the Church of Alfredo are blasphemers. They're awful, awful people. Them, along with the 7-layer lasagnaist, they're terrible. Oh. Terrible, I say.
Oh,
don't go down that way.
I understand.
Oh, awful people.
Mm-hmm. But the tortellini, is that all right?
Tortellini, it's perfectly fine as long as you dress all of your pasta in the gracious red sauce of His Holiness. Then you shall be.
The machinata.
Yes. Anything that brings the great tomato to your pasta. Mm. Yes.
All right. Well, I can see why my associate over there admires your charitable work in spreading the great tomato.
Why, yes. No, Arthur has been wonderful in donating to our cause. And I am much closer to his wife Ada. We do go way back, but yes, Arthur is a good man. He has donated quite a bit to our cause.
Mm-hmm. I see.
We want everyone to make it to the beer volcano in the sky, along with the strippers. Oh, the strippers! Everyone needs to make it to the strippers.
Now, in the volcano paradise, these strippers would be covered in spaghetti, would they not be?
Oh, no. The strippers are up to those who make it. That is the greatest part.
Mm.
The beer volcano is the flavor of your choosing. There is none that are wrong. and the strippers, they be of your desire. No choice is wrong there. But you must abide by the principles of flying spaghetti monsterism, Pastafarianism. You must abide. If you do not,
And I take it you abide strictly then.
Oh, very, very much so. Otherwise, I would not be dressed as you see me. For you see, a pirate is of the most holy in our sect. To be donned in pirate's garb, it is a great honor that I did not think of my life would see.
The pirate Pastafarian, so if you convert the strippers, then they'll dress like pirates?
Oh, no. See, the strippers are the reward, and they are above. One day I'll get there. Oh, your noodliness, I cannot wait to be bathed in your wonderful sauce. But until then, I must be here to convert all to his greatness.
And avoid the Alfredo.
Avoid the Alfredo at all cost. Yes, he might as well be the Antichrist himself.
I think I am beginning to see this this interesting way of thinking, though I do not quite understand your meaning. Elena, I was just getting to know your peculiar friend over here.
Oh, good. I'm glad. And she does return with a glass of spaghetti sauce.
Arthur is just amusedly sipping on his bourbon.
Oh, Ada, what a dear. Do you mind telling me what year?
I'll have to check with the cook. I didn't ask.
That is fine. That is perfectly fine. As long as it was made with love and care, I will be glad to drink it.
Well, I do believe it came from our garden, so...
Oh, wonderful. Yes, that is the best way. Pure and straight from the ground.
What's this about straight?
Oh, straight from the ground. You see, the tomato was grown here. That's wonderful.
Ah, never mind then.
I'll pickle that later.
Without further ado, Archibald Worthington is going to arrive because, as entertaining as this is, there are more guests. Archibald, would you like to describe your character for the audience?
Listen, I look like a detective, okay? I got the coat, I got the hat, probably a gun tucked away in one of my pockets, I don't know. I look like a detective.
Sinclair, you would know Archibald. Archibald frequents the house.
Good evening, Mr. Worthington. Would you like me to take your jacket and hat today?
No, coat and hat stays on at all times. Nice try, though.
As much. You're the professional type, I see. Always and forever.
Yes.
Please.
Professional. That's what I am.
Mr. Worthington.
Are you going up the stairs?
Yes, is that the way?
The dining hall is down here.
Oh.
The door is right over here.
I knew that. I was making sure that you did. Security, you understand.
Sinclair gives him a kind of questioning look. Yes, this way. Right here, the door. Master Collinsworth.
Archie! So good to see you, big
Hey, Yachty, how's it going? Oh, yes, all is with the hugging, you. Just like back in Nicaragua.
got to be more comfortable, man. Here, shall I pour you a bourbon, or are you still going on that sober nonsense?
That's cute. No, the sobriety ended along with prohibition.
Excellent, excellent. Of course, it was never illegal for someone of my position.
Yes, well,
Pours 3 fingers of bourbon and brings it over. So how are things down at the yard?
arrests, convictions, prosecutions, the usual.
Got to keep that crime rate down.
Yeah, well, with the murder streak going on, it's been difficult. Lots of murders recently. A little rash of him.
And he leans in close. I hear that you've been seeing someone for the nightmares?
Archie takes a long sip of his drink.
Now, I don't have to tell you that everything we did back then was justified and no one needs to know about it.
Howdy, old buddy, old pal. Everything we did was fully justified.
Excellent. That's my good man. Now, who is it you've been talking to? And is the Force requiring it, or are you doing this out of your own saintly aspirations?
There's something about anger issues.
Oh, you did always have that little bit of Irish spirit stuck right up there in you.
Yeah, well, trails off awkwardly.
Well, do make yourself comfortable. We've got, I believe, one more guest coming, and then we'll get started. Do introduce yourself to Dix. You can smack him around a bit if you want.
Yeah, sure. He'll go to the corner, and he'll just sort of stand there and sip his bourbon, and stare at everyone suspiciously.
Arthur drinks bourbon and pours it for everyone. Theodora, you arrive next.
Oh, God, I just teleported myself. That was not the intention.
I moved your character.
Okay. I think I accidentally moved it back and then moved it back again. We're good. We're good here. Hello. In walks an absolutely gorgeous woman. She has her hair done to the nines. It's in perfect auburn waves. She is wearing an off-the-shoulder maroon velvet gown. She's got a black fur stole just kind of draped elegantly around in between her elbows. I don't know how best to phrase that, but you can picture it. You think she might be wearing heels, but it's hard to tell. Either way, she's reasonably tall. She practically glides up the stairs and in. She greets Sinclair with those cute little European-like kiss on the cheek. Mwah, mwah.
Teddy, it's so wonderful to see you again. May I say you look ravishing. I'm sure that Mr. Worthing will be just as excited to see you. Would you like an escort, or can you find your way?
Oh, I'm certain I can find my way, but you know I wouldn't say no to an escort.
Very well. And once I click on my character so I can move him, you will start
the real challenge here.
I don't know why Dallas gave me permission to move your character, but I just escorted you to the dining hall.
As Teddy walks into the main room, Arthur smiles with a hint of familiarity at first, but then backs off of it, and you can see a crisp exterior mask cover his face as he walks almost briskly up, does an elegant bow, and says, "You must be Miss Nevere. You are as gorgeous in person as on the television, if I do say so myself." And if there's no resistance, he will take your hand and give it a soft kiss. kiss.
Oh, she was already offering it for the kiss, so. And she'll kind of dip her head and do a little tiny baby curtsy and say, "Oh, well, thank you, dear."
I do thank you for gracing my humble little get-together with your lavish presence.
Oh, well, it's the least I could do. You know, I'm often very eager to avoid prying journalists.
Well, I do hope we can hide you from them here. Everyone, I believe that was our last guest. Now, if you would all take a seat.
Calm down. I'm already sitting.
There's a loud knock on the door, but that definitely was the last invite, Sinclair. How do you respond?
Sinclair would probably shoot a questioning look at Mr. Collinsworth, but then head out to answer the door. And opens it. And are we doing introductions first, or are we...
We're doing introductions. Webster, what do people see when they see you?
I'm going to do just the description in my normal voice because of reason. So he's like about 6 feet tall, pretty slight guy, but he's wearing some black slacks and a nice form-fitting black t-shirt tucked into, or not t-shirt, but black shirt tucked into said slacks, and he's got on a very tasteful leather jacket. And he looks over at Sinclair and says, "Hello, is the lady of the house about? You see, we've been having a written correspondence recently, and she asked me to come by tonight."
The lady of the house.
Yes.
Do you know the name of the residence you are at? I'm afraid that your name is not
Collinsworth, I believe, is who I've been writing.
He gives a slight nod and says, "Very well, follow me this way. I will take you to Ada."
Oh, real quick.
Yes.
I guess we're still standing outside, or?
I don't know. You can come in if you would like.
All right. Before we go in, it has been requested that let me figure out the best way to express this idea. It has been requested that my true motives for being here are to remain mysterious for the time being. So if anyone asks, would you kindly let them know that my car broke down up the road and that I'm just trying to use the phone?
I am not one to speak of others' motives. For
There's a $20 bill in it for you.
Please come this way. I am sure if you are welcome, you are more than welcome. And I do not question either one of the masters of the house.
Oh, God, that's very kind of you.
Oh, excuse me. What was your name again?
Oh, I'm very sorry. My name is Webster Strange.
Sinclair. Very nice to meet you. And Sinclair will enter the door and say, Mr. Webster Strange has arrived.
Almost cutting you off, Arthur stands and goes, "Who in the flaming marinara are you, and why are you here?"
Hello, Mr. Man of the House. You're looking quite muscular.
Arthur, you will address me correctly, sir.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Arthur, who looks quite muscular and handsome underneath his jacket. You see, my car seems to have broken down up the road, and I was just wondering if I could borrow your phone for a few minutes so as I might call a mechanic or a taxi cab or something.
Sinclair. The phone is in the front hall. Why did you bring this riffraff in here?
Darling,
Well,
Archie.
see, he seemed to be very hungry, and if his car is broken down, you know how service is around here. It could be hours. We have more than enough food. I prepared it.
Come now, Archie,
Fine.
darling. Let the poor man stay, at least for the food.
Put him next to Dick at the table.
Very
What
well.
did you say?
Fearman will wave and say, "Don't mind him. Come sit by me, young man."
Okay.
Sinclair would say to Richard, and here I thought Mr. Collins must have had a young friend for once.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Well, Mr. Strange, my name is Monsieur Richard Fairman. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Please, don't call me Mr. Strange. Mr. Strange is my father. You can call me Webster.
Well, hello, Webster. Having car trouble, you said?
That's what they tell me.
Who tells you?
No, not an actual person. It's just the voices in my head. They're saying I'm having some car trouble. I'd like to note that Webster at this point has started to visibly sweat as he is socially awkward.
You have voices in your head telling you that your car is broken down.
Doesn't everybody have a voice in their head? An internal monologue, I believe, is what they call it.
Well, I suppose so, but you use the word in the plural. Do you have multiple internal monologues?
This is a joke that may not resonate at this current time period, but a boy's best friend is his mother.
Does that mean you're having an internal dialogue with the mother in your head?
No, it's just a goof based on my appearance.
Do you look like your mother?
No, it's a very long story that will take probably about an hour and a half to tell.
Did your mother break your car?
No, my mother is an invalid.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but we do have a minister here that might be able to perform some kind of miraculous healing, if you believe in that sort of thing. Does your mother enjoy pasta?
My mother is she's got celiac disease. It's the new disease that is found. She can't eat certain foods.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Worthington, as Sinclair has just backed through a door with multiple plates.
Yeah, you're excused.
Despite
What of
this
it?
interruption, if everyone could be seated. What were you saying, Archibald? Archie, what were you saying?
Oh, nothing of import.
Okay.
Where is everyone seated?
Down.
Where are the place settings though? Like, is it assigned seating?
There's not assigned seating. You may sit wherever.
Are we all around the one table on the left, or are both tables fair game?
I
either
have
table
set
is
both
fair game.
tables. Now, Master Collinsworth, your plate is over here. I put an extra serving of those mashed potatoes that you love so much.
Ah, thank you, my dear man. Where did you indicate his place setting was? I was on a different screen.
Oh, over here.
Excellent. He, of course, sits at the head of the table.
Yes.
Archie, come, sit with me.
As Archie goes to sit down, he'd gone over to check out this strange fellow with the German accent. As he's passing Sinclair, he'll tap him on the shoulder discreetly, and he'll be like, "Hey, bud, keep an eye on that fellow. I don't trust him any farther than I could throw him. And you know, ever since the war, I can't throw very far."
I will do. It is my duty to watch over the household for Master Arthur.
Archie grunts.
Well, Webster, it seems like others are congregating at that table, and there may be just room enough for us to squeeze in. Would you like to make it a crowd over there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on a tangent. Well, I'm very sorry. I was lost in my thoughts. What were you saying?
Oh, just follow me.
Yeah, okay. I'm very good at following these leaders.
Yes, we are going to, as you might have heard, have a party at this table. As Sinclair will pick up all the plates that he set on this table and now move them over to the other table.
Arthur glares, by the way, as Webster sits next to him.
Fearman is smirking. Rosalind, darling, Rosalind,
Yes, Richard.
Does your faith make exceptions for gluten intolerant options with the pasta?
We might be able to work around it if the individual needs it.
Well, we have a friend in need over here, Webster. He says his mother is suffering from some kind of celiac disease, and
Oh, my dear child.
yes.
Webster, was it?
Hello?
Oh, you poor boy. Is something wrong with your mother?
My mother is confined to a wheelchair.
Oh, that's dreadful. That is dreadful. Is she with you now?
No, she's at home in the motherland.
The motherland. That far. Oh, that is so dreadful.
Yes,
dreadful.
New Jersey.
Oh. New Jersey.
So far, I hardly even get to see her.
Oh, that is terrible. That is terrible. Why have you left your mother's side?
Oh, because I'm on a trip trying to discover myself.
Oh, my dear boy, have you come to the right place?
He glances at Arthur. I believe I may have.
Now that Sinclair has finished moving plates and stuff, he will gingerly take off his gloves and hang them next to the door and sit down and say, "I do believe dinner is served."
One moment, Sinclair. I must, before anyone starts eating, I must say grace. Papa, if you mind, I would love to say it.
Yes, do go ahead, Minister.
Our pasta, who art and colander, draining be your noodles. Thy noodle come, thy sauce be yum, on top some grated parmesan. Give us this day our garlic bread, and forgive us our trespasses, and we forgive those who trample on our lawns. And lead us not into vegetarianism, but deliver us some pizza. For thine is the meatball, the onion, and the bay leaves, forever and ever. Ra-man.
I have to catch my breath before I respond.
Lovely prayer, I'm sure. Sinclair, thank you for serving the meal. Looks delicious.
I would assume we're eating spaghetti.
It would be blasphemy if we are not.
Actually, no one had spoken to me about this. So most people have like a pork chop, some mashed potatoes, asparagus, and like a nice piece of toast. He did, after meeting Minister Garfunkel, go ahead and put some of their signature red meat sauce over the toast. With a side of red sauce.
Thank you, Sinclair. You do the faith proud.
Digging into his pork chop and somewhat talking around it, Arthur turns to his wife. Darling, isn't this just delightful? So much calmer and easier than those ravish parties you throw that have people noising up the place till all hours of the night. Does Ada respond?
No, not really. Kind of rolled her eyes.
Ignore.
I don't know, that second option sounds rather fun.
Oh, you would think so, Dick, wouldn't you?
Yes.
But what do you think of the pork?
I wouldn't know, I haven't tried it yet.
Well, hurry up, man! What's taking you so long? It's not like I poisoned it or anything.
That's the second time you've mentioned poison this evening. Does he threaten to poison anyone else at this table, or do I just have the pleasure of that particular interaction?
I for one, am not terribly fond of the banter concerning poison.
I would like to ask that no one mentioned this food be poisoned. I worked very hard all day long.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sinclair, not trying to downplay your expertise. Though I'm sure you would have slipped a little poison in if I told you, huh?
Anything for you, master.
Now I am terribly concerned.
Oh, eat up, boy! Letting you eat my food, least you can do is say it tastes good.
Artie, darling, please.
Arthur, please remember, ever since the flying spaghetti monster created the Garden of Olives, we must share with those around us.
Speaking of sharing, I assume you're expecting this month's donation tonight. I can cut you a check.
That would be much appreciated, but please, we can handle those details after dinner.
So, let's change this to more pleasant matters then. Tell us, Navarre, how are things in the glamorous world you come from?
Oh, I mean, it's not terribly different from what you people go through, I assume. I mean, I was not always very famous, so I would say glamorous, I suppose, but lots of attention where it doesn't belong. Never asparagus quite so good as this, though, Sinclair.
Sorry, I missed that.
Oh, I said your asparagus was quite good, Sinclair. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the compliment. I do have more in the back if you would like. I noticed you haven't touched your pork chop. Are you a vegetarian?
No, I'm not. I just try not to eat too much heavy meat. I prefer fish.
Very well.
Rosamund stares across the table when she heard the word vegetarianism. But she deems it all right as there was fish mentioned. Shrimp tortellini is perfectly acceptable.
Oh, I do
Oh,
care for it.
Sinclair, while you're back there, will you please grab some colanders? I may have a convert.
Very well. And Sinclair, having hoped to more or less enjoy the meal, gets up and slides his gloves back on and heads to the kitchen.
So, Webster, was it?
Yes, sir. My name is Webster Strange.
The least you can do is entertain us a little bit. What is this lousy car that you're having trouble with? Not a German model, I hope. They're all worthless.
Some are very poorly designed. I do agree with you there, but there are some that are very, very nice. Unfortunately, they have not yet been imported to this country.
Wonder why that is. Why would the Germans keep their finest things from us?
Oh, I don't think it's so much as keeping it from the American people. I think it's more of keeping it for themselves.
Selfish bastards.
That is often what they do, yes.
But it must be noted that not all of the German people are selfish like that.
Oh.
I myself give charitable donations to children's homes on a monthly basis.
Is that so? And what meager donations do you feel capable of giving?
Why, just last week I gave $150 to the home in Detroit.
Arthur is more impressed than he wants to let on. You can tell, but he's masking it.
So, I'm terribly sorry. I am quite a stranger around these parts. What is it that you do for a living, Mr. Arthur?
I produce designer towels embroidered with small rabbits.
Ah, a bunny towel. Oh yes,
Yes, you could say that, I suppose.
My mother was raving about the ones that just that were just imported over to Germany. I'm sorry, New Jersey. She loves them very much.
I have been trying to extend my reach, but you know how it is trying to ship anything across this country. Far too many square miles.
Isn't that the truth? Much better system they have in Europe, where all the countries are within like a day's ride on a train.
Narrows eyebrow. America has much more room for expansion then, does it not?
Why, yes, it does, but there's just not the infrastructure to support a rapid expansion the way that the European nations do.
And what brought you here then? Certainly wasn't our infrastructure.
No, you see, I'm trying to find my biological father, but and I was passing by these down this stretch of road upon which you live, and when my car broke down, I think we've established that earlier.
And why would you come looking for your biological father in this part of the country?
Well, it's because my mother she tells me that she met my father for one night of lovely passion, whatever that means, around these parts.
And the mother speaks in his head in the voices. Ain't that right, Webster?
No, that was a joke that does not make sense in this time period based on my appearance.
Webster, I must ask, were you born in the glorious of holy macaroni?
No, you see, you see, Mr. Arthur may have been more than a little accurate when he said a bastard.
Oh, my dear child, there are no bastards, just those born without the proper garlic. But that is okay. You can still be saved.
I'm sorry.
As Rosalind is slowly just bringing the colander up onto the table.
I'm very sorry. I feel like you're using the word garlic as a euphemism. I'm not entirely certain what you mean.
Oh, you'll quite understand. That just right now, there's not enough time, but we'll talk later.
Garlic!
Do we need some garlic brought to the table?
I love garlic. Garlic toast, garlic fish, garlic pork chops. It's my favorite. My favorite seasoning.
And the butter. I forgot the butter for your fish. I'm sorry. I will be back once again with garlic and butter. And perhaps a side of garlic butter. Raises an eyebrow at Webster.
Oh, I would love some garlic butter if you have some on hand.
This does not take near as long to prepare.
So, you said you're looking for your biological father. Do you happen to know his name?
I've got a couple of leads, but nothing quite as concrete as a birth certificate or driver's license number or anything of that nature.
Visible relaxation from Arthur. Well, I know some people in the area. Maybe I can help you. What have you got to go on?
Well, I know his name. Well, my mother called him Artie. I don't know if that's short for anything or not. I'm not quite so well versed in the intricacies of American nicknames, as they call them. But I guess I'm looking for an Artie.
Artie. I wonder, do you know if that is short for something?
Oh, you get quiet, dick.
That leads me to another question. Why are you calling this nice gentleman Dick? He does not seem rude to me.
Short for Richard. His parents named him that, not I.
Yes, but
I'd like to remind him of it.
But the letter D is not at the beginning of the name Richard.
You know, I never understood that myself. Glad to change the subject.
Sinclair, dear, would you mind getting me a lot of red wine?
Just having taken off the gloves again, put some back on.
I'll take some as well, please, Sinclair.
Sinclair, while you're up, some more sauce, please.
Yes, of course. And before going to the kitchen, Sinclair comes and says, I thought you invited me here as a guest tonight. I do hope I'm getting overtime for this.
Of course you are, Sinclair. And as long as you fulfill your duties, you're welcome to enjoy the meal with us.
Well, that doesn't sound suspicious.
In place of the awkward silence, there is much clattering of silverwares. I assume people are digging deeply into their plates.
Oh, this potentially poisoned pork chop is delicious.
Well, if Sinclair made it, hopefully it is not poisonous, despite our good friend Artie's teasing. I'm sure it's harmless.
I'm sorry, did you say Artie?
Oh, slip of the tongue. I meant our dear host, Arthur.
Oh, okay. I've got very hopeful for just one moment.
Hopeful of what exactly, Mr. Webster?
I don't know. I suppose you could say it's a Pavlovian response.
Ada is like grabbing Arthur's arm. Calm down.
Yes, dear.
Nothing.
Teddy is gingerly eating her fish and very not gingerly drinking her wine.
Sinclair is sitting down and having his first bite of pork chop for the evening.
I do say, Webster, it would be very nice for you to find your father. I believe that would be quite lovely for the both of you.
I certainly hope so. I've never met him before, and I would very much like to do so.
Well, I trust he is a kind and generous man.
I certainly hope so. Also, I am not looking for some manner of handout. I would very much like to get to know him.
Of course, of course.
Arthur has been watching this conversation, this match. And then he turns to Ada. What do you know, Ada? You've got that look.
Know of what, darling?
Of this stranger that shows up on our doorstep.
Why, only that his car is broken down, the poor man needs a meal, he's looking for his father, only what he's told us.
Is that so?
Of course, darling. Why would you think otherwise?
Known to be suspicious of you when you ask too many questions. Your disinterest is legendary, darling.
Well, I only feel for the poor man.
The lights in the house flicker.
Oh. Squick!
My noodle in this. What was that?
Mr.
Oh,
Collinsworth, I think your wiring is off.
Not having trouble paying the electricity bills, are you?
Oh, pish posh. I'm sure it's just them working on the lines.
I promise you, there's no reason for concern about bills being paid. I can assure you of that. But I will make sure that I go and take a look at the system. Does anyone have any plates while I'm headed out?
There is a loud thunder crash outside, and the lights flicker yet again.
Oh no, it seems that the weather has become quite inclement in a very short amount of time.
Oh, I do believe it might be raining meatballs out there very soon.
Oh, come
Meatballs?
off it.
I don't believe meatballs condense from clouds, although I think you may be speaking metaphorically.
Oh, my dear child.
Are the candles on the tables lit?
No, not at present.
Richard will take matches from his coat pocket and light the candles in front of him. I
as
don't
you
like
reach-
the lights flickering, Arthur.
As you reach for those matches, and as Sinclair is walking out of the room, there's another loud crash of thunder. As the entire house goes dark.
Oh no!
There are some mild sounds of scooting chairs, a couple of scuffles, And then 4 gunshots. And that's our 10-minute break.
Excellent. Well, then I will go ahead and read us out. We love our cast. They have brought a fantastic group of characters to life tonight, and we've included various items from the interwebs. If you like what we like and would like to know where we got it, just let us know. Then you'll know what we know, and we'll all be in the know of what we like. We'll get right back to the adventure in just a few minutes. It is 8:09 Central Time now. We'll be back at 8:19 Central Time, ready to find out what happened with those 4 gunshots. See you soon.
Hello, anyone hanging out in the chat. We're not yet off break, but it is traditional to, after a couple minutes of break, just chit-chat and get some OOC out of character view of our actors. So anyone's welcome to chit-chat.
Like about Cherry Cobbler?
Clearly about Cherry Cobbler. Okay. So I am actually celiac. So Cherry Cobbler is kind of a no for me, but I know how to make a really good gluten-free brown sugar crumble that on top of cherry pie filling is the bomb. And, I want to make something.
I didn't get cherries tomorrow.
I didn't mean to take a shot at you. I didn't know you were celiac.
Oh, no, you're fine. I'm not bothered by it. It just is what it is. That was fantastic. Which, by the way, I knew y'all were good when I asked you to jump into this project, but oh my word, y'all are bringing it tonight.
We've got a request in the Twitch chat that we all go over the voices real quick because they missed introduction. Can we do that?
Certainly. So I'll kick it then. I am the Dungeon Master, Dallas MacArthur. You likely won't hear Arthur's voice again, but I am also Arthur.
Now, why wouldn't we hear Arthur's voice again?
That's an interesting question now, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah, I thought I was the one getting
molded. Elliot, you want to tell him your voice, or are you not back yet?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, you are here.
Yes. This is my character voice.
Which character is that?
I'm the detective, Archibald Worthington.
Anna.
You can call me Archie.
Anna, are you back?
Haven't heard from her yet, so I'm guessing no.
Okay. Jacob, hit him with yours.
Alrighty. Jacob. I'm Jacob, otherwise known as Jack, and my character is I forgot my name. I'm so sorry. My name is Webster Strange, and I'm from the Far East, and by the Far East, I mean apparently New Jersey.
The funny thing is that he seems like the character that would forget his own name.
What if that's not his real name?
Yep. Can't believe that's the first one of the night.
Everyone was being polite at dinner. I expected more spillage at dinner.
We're all too tightly wrapped.
That's okay. Things are about to become unhinged.
So next is
Chad.
Yep. Sorry. Everybody, my name is Chad, and I'm playing Rosalind Garfunkel, humble table server to the great noodle in the sky.
Pours more brandy.
I'm Casey, and I am playing Sinclair Jones, the butler, and so many other things to Master Collinsworth? Yes, Collinsworth.
Collinsworth, yes.
I'm Amy, and I am playing Teddy Navarre, actress, well-known person extraordinaire.
And I'm Lydia. I'm playing Ada, Mrs. Collinsworth.
Anna, are you back? Silence is very reassuring.
Well, that's not one of my names, but I suppose it'll do.
We were reintroducing ourselves for the benefit of the audience members that missed the character introductions.
Oh, wonderful. Well, my name is Anna. I'm a co-DM on this channel, and I love getting up to the ridiculous shenanigans over here. And tonight I am playing Monsieur Fairman Richard, or as the host keeps referring to me as Dick, and, yeah.
Oh, wow, you did that to yourself, naming your character Richard.
That's true.
It's very true.
Left yourself open.
He can take it.
It fits great. Like, it describes our character's relationship in one moment of interaction.
So,
It does, and it's great, and it's wonderful.
Anyways, the lights come back on to a grisly scene. If my reveal tool would work correctly for once. I love Roll20, but there's one thing.
Oh, what fresh hell is this?
Well, that was certainly unexpected.
Oh, my noodle, this is awful.
There is
Why am I in the
blood.
corner?
I don't know. Why is anyone where they are? There is blood spray everywhere. There is blood on everyone's clothes. Though what of it is from splatter and what directions is something that would have to be deduced. Arthur Collinsworth is lying on the floor, shot neatly in the head 4 times.
Wait, if he's shot in the head, how do we know if it's Arthur?
That's an excellent question. He is wearing an impeccably fine blue suit, but you could, check the pockets, though at this moment, that might look suspicious.
I presume that the suit is no longer spotless.
That is also true. Though it's still very fine. I would like a blue suit. I don't know if anyone has noticed by my description, but I want a blue suit in my life.
I mean, it's good.
This is important. Is there blood on Fairman's shoes?
Roll a D100 for me.
This is the intermission music. It is a 4.
A 4, yes.
Fairman looks incredibly just heartbroken and sad and just, oh man, he is distraught. Well, this
Teddy
is
introduces. Oh, go.
unacceptable. Oh, the humanity.
This is a great tragedy. We've only just met him. I'm going to go vomit in the corner.
Dick,
Hey. Archie,
Dick, come here.
I'm here.
I need you to tell me one thing. This one of yours?
No, not that I know of.
Keep your voice down, dimwit.
This is my volume of voice. I'm keeping it quiet.
Okay. I got to take control of the scene.
All
You know
right.
anything, you tell me. Got it?
Well, I know nothing, and unless I get a bill from you, this isn't one of mine.
You get a grunt in reply. Ma'am, I need you to step away from the body.
Sir, you don't understand. This is a
Ma'am,
recent deceit. No,
This is now
sir,
a crime scene.
Sir, this
within
is
my
part
jurisdiction.
of the Arthurian religion. You will be interfering with that of his great noodle in the sky. Do you
And you are
understand?
interfering with an active crime
you
scene. Don't make me
understand what
read
you
you
are
your
doing?
rights. Wait, this is before the Miranda case. I can do whatever I want.
Yes, you will be upheld to the great noodle in the sky in my...
Make me take out the handcuffs, and not in the fun, sexy way.
I will give this man his last bites before you move the body. Do you understand?
You can do that in the morgue.
No,
Right
I'm
now,
doing it here.
I'm
I am doing
not-
it here where his body is at
Do
home.
not touch
You-
that body.
I will not touch the
You are
body.
tampering with
Stop
an active
making a
crime
scene.
scene.
I will give this man his last bites before he leaves his home. That is
Ada,
what
speak up.
Two of you, stop making a scene.
I'm afraid the scene has already been made.
Well,
Look, unless he shot himself, this was murder.
ridiculous.
Ada, I must ask, was he regularly wearing his colander? I must know this.
Rosalind, right now,
It is very important. If he wants to see that beer volcano in the sky, it is very impertinent that you tell me.
Do I have to roll anything to pick up Rosalind and set her aside? Is that within my purview?
I will
That
back
would
away.
be, I would say about a 20% success chance on that, so give me a D100.
She backed away, she said.
Oh, okay.
I decided that I needed to deal with the wife of the deceased before I get
Yes,
this
go
last
talk to her, give her comfort for whatever noodly appendage thing you all do.
Oh, you sir. You will suffer, I promise. But not here.
Yes, may your Alfredo always be curdled.
Oh, don't you bring up Alfredo with me, boy. You will be punished.
Oh, what's Webster doing currently?
I was vomiting in the corner, having just witnessed the aftermath of a grisly murder.
Excuse me, Mr. Strange.
Yes.
I would really appreciate you not puke in front of the doors. There is a corner on the other side of the room, not near any doors.
I was vomiting in the corner that you are currently stepping in. Sorry about that. I should have warned you before you came over. Are you okay, my good sir?
Yes. No. This is very disturbing. But I would ask you to move back into the room. I do not want anyone leaving until I've found who has done this to my paycheck writer.
So you're only in it for the money.
Well, it is my job.
Oh, I suppose I never thought about it that way.
It's how I make a living.
All right, that's enough. Everybody out of the room. I need to look at the crime scene. Yous all can wait in one of the multiple other rooms in the house. There's like 40 of them.
Mr. Sinclair has just informed me that he does not want anyone leaving the room.
This is now an active crime scene. I am now in charge here.
But
With
Mr.
DM's permission, of course.
The DM?
Yeah, Sinclair
The
would.
hand on my head moment.
I think you mean the DA.
Yes, the DA up in the sky that controls our every move.
Wait, is there a DA or is there
By in the sky, I mean how we colloquially refer to the
you.
headquarters location on the roof.
Mr. Strange, I do believe that this Worthington does take a precedence over my say.
Okay.
Sinclair would probably
Well, for the
shoot
love of you're
Worthington.
standing in the blood of the crime scene. This is already obstruction of justice.
What's Teddy doing?
Thou shalt not know justice.
I admit I do have a very lax understanding of crime scene law, but apparently so do the actual police. So
I was going to say,
You know.
you're playing the 1950s cop perfectly, so carry on. First, what's Teddy doing?
Teddy has produced a fan from somewhere. She doesn't have pockets, so you don't know where it came from. She's fanning herself and kind of pacing back and forth along this wall, wherever she can be furthest from most of the blood. This is the most real blood she's seen anywhere, because this is the 1950s. We can't show that much fake blood on TV.
it's all corn syrup.
It's all corn syrup.
I thought it was Bosco's chocolate sauce.
It could be.
It was originally, and then when they
I think it
switched to
probably would be
LAPD,
chocolate
then they
sauce at
changed
this
to corn
point.
syrup.
Most of her experience would be with chocolate sauce, yes.
I can tell you from experience, it's not Prego.
It's a class.
Is it ragu?
Oh no.
Does it
Mr.
smell like ragu?
It doesn't, but it might be some sort of American offshoot that I'm not very familiar with.
Get out. of the room, please.
I'm going to
Get
go
out.
into what appears
Get
to
out.
be... Okay.
I need everyone to roll 100 and post their results in the Roll20 chat for me. We're gonna do initiative so that I can keep tabs on everyone and give everyone a fair shake at investigating things. For those of you who know how, you can go ahead and put your own initiatives in. Need a Rosalind at 95. Dang. Webster at 78. Okay. So, Rosalind, where did you get off? What are you doing?
I would like to meet with Ada in a place of her choosing so that we may discuss the after-death preparations.
To be clear, the initiative order is just for check-ins. So, like, if you are being interacted with, or if you can see and hear what is going on in the interaction, you can participate. You do not have to wait for your turn.
Good to know. I want to stay.
You're gonna have to speak up, Ada. We're struggling to hear you.
Why? Interesting. I would like to stay. I can stay out of the way, but I would like to stay.
I wouldn't do it for another person, but since I know you, I can allow that. I'm going to need the Pastafarian crazy to go.
I am her religious leader, sir.
And I don't care. You can take it up with the authority of this whatever parent organization I work for.
Oh, you will be taken up with
What would that be?
pirates of the Great Flying Spaghetti Monster, and they will come for your booty.
The chief of police or some such. I don't know.
The vague yard is all we had agreed on.
Yeah.
Take it up with the yard.
I don't know how much, how high up the detective ranks I am.
Rosalind, it's fine. I'll be there in a minute.
All right. By the permission of the DM, is it all right if I give his last rites as I'm walking out the door? I would like to speak.
Do whatever you want.
Okay. Rosalind will make her way out into the entryway. She procures from her pocket what looks to be an al dente spaghetti noodle, and on it are what seem to be a dozen spicy Italian sausages. She counts them off while reading the hymn of our Lord and Savior, His Noodliness. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table, it rolled on the floor, and then my poor meatball, it rolled out the door, it rolled in the garden, and it rolled under a bush, and then my poor meatball was nothing but mush. And it was as tasty as she could be. Summer, it grew to a tree. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss. It grew great big meatballs and tomato sauce. So it's meat spaghetti, all covered with cheese. Roll to your meatball and don't ever sneeze.
That was beautiful. I'm actually crying.
Speaking of, Webster, what are you up to? You have stumbled your way into the servants' quarters.
Yeah, I figured it was the servants' quarters. I almost just did the wickedly wrong voice. Oh, I am not feeling very well at this very point in time. I think I will find some place to sit. Oh, this looks like a nice place to sit down and try to collect myself whilst producing the letter from my inner pocket of my jacket, in which my most recent correspondence with Mrs. Collinsworth revealed that I am, in fact, the son of our gracious host.
Oh, my noodle.
But of course, no one else here except for myself and Mrs. Collinsworth knows this at this point in time. I'm just gesticulating into an empty room.
I don't know. With how awkward that dinner conversation was, I feel like that's not much of a leap of intuition for people that maybe knew that Arthur's nickname was Artie, which is likely everyone.
I apparently don't.
Well, yes, everyone else.
Are you going to keep bemoaning that to empty rooms?
Sure, why not? Oh no!
He's stress monologuing.
If only I had gotten here sooner, I would have been able to spend more time with my dear father, whose first name I cannot remember, and maybe he would have accepted me as his own.
Sinclair, you would have heard all this.
I would have heard all that.
Yeah, there aren't any kind of insulation in the walls of the servants' quarters.
Very glad that I am alone and that no one can hear me talking to discover or to reveal this information to someone else later on down the line.
Whether you choose to respond or not is up to you. If you're not going to respond, we'll pop over to Richard, but you're welcome to pop in and respond right now.
Well, considering some information that Sinclair already had, he probably would choose not to respond.
All right, then let's pop over to Richard.
Quite messy, all this murder business, isn't it?
Who are you talking to?
Myself.
Talking to the piano, of course.
Richard will just be meandering from room to room, the rooms that he's familiar with, to get away and think about things. Is this piano one that is one of the cool ones where you press a button and it plays by itself?
There's about a 30% chance of that being true. Roll a D100.
It is 26?
Nope.
Oh, dang. So Richard will be ever curious about the new decorations in the room or new books that he sees. So he is kind of picking up everything, checking for any price tags or names that would reveal that things are a fake.
The man is dead and you're still being passively judgmental.
Yeah.
That's the best time to be passively judgmental.
Because now he can't get better at anything.
Yeah.
Clearly, you've never been to the funeral of someone you hated. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Archie, lay me some of this investigation.
Right. You know, I did take a forensics class once. So I'm
gonna Elliot.
You decide. It could be both. I don't know. It's the 50s. You probably just have to have like, I don't know. What's the prerequisite to be a cop in the 50s?
Attitude.
Yeah.
Brought your own nightstick.
Being like white, I guess.
A nice.
Anyway. All right, we're going to start by searching the room in a spiral piano. Okay, I need to figure out an accent for this guy. I mean, all over the place. Fine. We're going to search the room in a spiral pattern, because just trample all over the blood, trample all over the table. No, I kid. How do I investigate, Dallas? What do I need to do to get information?
Tell me what you would like to investigate.
I'm looking at the body.
The body was shot in the head 4 times. Pretty clearly.
Specifically in the head 4 times individually. What's left of the head?
Not much.
Is there a way to tell the caliber of the bullets?
It would have had to be a fairly large caliber for the size of holes it left.
So like 38?
Probably.
24 Magnum?
There is a rather obnoxiously large piece of paper sticking out of his suit coat pocket.
Okay. How obvious is that?
Very.
All right. I take out a handkerchief and I grab the paper with the handkerchief and pull it out.
It has a little blood stain on it and some smeared ink.
What is the
do you open it up to see what's actually written on it?
Delicately.
It says, "This is your check for the Ministry of the Pastafarian Gods." And below it is entirely blank.
Motive. I tuck it away in a... Would they have had evidence bags back then? Would they have cared about that?
You have a trench coat. Your trench coat is your evidence bag.
Then I tuck it away into one of the pockets of the trench coat.
Pockets.
My family's from Long Island, so there you go. There you go. Gonna ask for some coffee in just a minute. Yeah, high caliber bullet, not much left of the head. What does the rest of the body look like?
Dapper.
Okay.
But also bloodstained.
Is he lying in the blood as though he fell into it? Was it already pooling, or is it pooling around the corpse as though it started spreading after he fell?
Good question.
I know.
And you do notice that the blood seemed to be pooling before there was a body on top of it. It's not pooling from his head.
And it's a rather large blood stain, considering the magnitude of the injury.
It is.
4 times in the head. Why 4? I do monologue this out loud.
It is gasping in the corner. Oh.
Like a lucky number for someone? I don't know. I don't get this. 4 times. Is there a way to tell... A pool of blood would not, I don't think, be characteristic at all for this kind of injury. This seems like there would be spatter, but there wouldn't be pooling. Not in this kind of pattern.
You would know that from the war. You'd seen some people's heads blown off. This might be traumatic.
Detective. I mean, I presumably have some kind of detective training.
Presumably.
So, you know, this feels funky somehow. Something about this doesn't smell right, and it ain't because you had fish for dinner, whatever that actress's name was. Hedy Lamarr. I guess I have no recourse but to sniff the blood.
Somewhere distantly, all the dog characters
actually ragu.
Are giving you advantage.
Is it ragu or is it blood?
It is blood.
Do I have like a portable lab? Can I do like a DNA test on this?
Not with you.
Can I get a sample and send it off somewhere and have an analysis run?
You could put a sample of blood in your evidence bag if you want, but I don't think you have a vial.
Or I could. I got nothing.
Goes over.
Where does the blood spatter indicate the shot came from? What was the direction of the shot?
Excellent. So actually, there are 4 possible locations, and I will mark them on your map.
Okay.
So the blood splatter up and to your right indicates the shooter would have stood about there for the shot. But there's also blood spatter just below you that would have indicated a position of here There's also spatter on the table to the right, indicating that they could have stood as far back as over here by the fireplace. And blood spatter on the table to the left, indicating it could have been literally anyone seated at this table.
Thank you for clearing that up.
You're welcome.
So we know for sure that the shooter was in that room.
Where else would they have been?
No, that was my commentary on the futility of attempting to deduce where the shooter was.
Teddy, you found yourself in the library. What are you doing?
I am still pacing. I am looking for some good light reading material to distract me from all this horribleness, preferably something nothing to do with murder. Anything popping out? Anything looks like someone might have picked it up recently or regularly? Something interesting looking?
A small, leather-bound, unmarked volume laying obnoxiously on one of the side tables.
Oh yes, absolutely. I'll pick that up and I will find myself a cozy place to hunker down and continue fanning and start reading.
You read, I presume, starting at the first page.
Indeed I do.
It is marked with a date nearly 15 years ago. My dearest Teddy, long had I put you from my mind, and yet you come creeping back now. I wonder what may have been had another life been in front of me, and another career in front of you. These thoughts plague me nightly. I pace my grand house, feeling empty without your presence. It goes on for some time, for the better part of 15 years.
Just gonna close that and put that wherever the fan came from. That's coming with me.
While you are reading, Richard walks in and does see you hide the book, whether or not he chooses to say anything about it.
Richard will lean against the bookshelf and say, "Well, find anything interesting in here?"
Only a bit of personal history.
Oh. Have you been here before?
I don't know if that's any of your business, sir. Dick, is it?
Well, I wasn't trying to be rude, just keeping conversation, Dick is what Arthur called me. My name is Fairman Richard, or Richard Fairman, depending on where you're from, I guess. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I have to say, I noticed that Arthur didn't seem to like you very much.
Well, no, we've had a bit of a rivalry going for, well, quite a few years, actually.
But then why would he invite you over for dinner?
We meet together all the time. We're business partners, of sorts.
Intriguing.
Yes.
Did you also come in here for some light distraction?
Oh, yes, I'd figure I'd roam the house. The detective doesn't want us in the room while he's working, so I figured we'd go to the rooms where he's not.
That does seem to be his prerogative, yes.
So, this is a room where he is not. So I find myself here. Would you care to continue taking a turn about the house with me, or you quite settled here?
No, I will come with you, I think. I don't think being alone would be wise with a shooter on the loose and me being who I am and you presumably being who you are, you know?
Very well then. And Richard will offer her his arm.
And she will take it with, just a little, fingertips touching. She doesn't super want to touch him, but she's gonna.
Excellent. Well, here we go then.
As you step into the office, you notice a well-dressed skeleton propped up in the primary chair. It is jarring.
Bloody hell!
I take it that's not usually here in your office meetings.
No, not at all.
It is posed as if it is writing something.
Quite macabre.
Is this a clean skeleton? Is this like a polished set of bones?
Yes, it is like a polished set of bones wearing a top hat, monocle, and three-piece tuxedo.
Okay, so once the initial shock of skeleton wears off,
Would
she
Teddy
will.
have screamed when she saw this?
Yeah, a little bit of a
Loud enough for Archie to have heard?
I mean, how thick are the walls, Dallas? It's not like a blood-curdling
There's
actor screech.
75% chance you heard. Roll a 1d100 for me.
21.
Close, but no smoking for you tonight.
Well,
If you'd gotten over a 25, you would have heard it.
If
Teddy
you give
is
me
going
just a
to-
second, I can get above a 25.
Any room can be a panic room if you just give me a second.
Teddy is going to try to slide whatever the skeleton was writing out from under his bony hand, just in case it's another letter to Teddy. We don't need any bankers knowing about that.
It is not.
Oh, Fairman is right there with you.
I mean, yes, but she's, she's got tiny, delicate hands. She moves quickly.
It looks like a unfinished letter, and the opening reads, Dick, I am aware that you are secretly trying to buy the shares in my company that just went public. I am aware of how hostile takeovers work, and I assure you that even if you pick up all public shares, you will not be able to... ...
Well, that's odd. Why would he write a letter instead of just saying that to my face?
You tell me.
Fairman will pick up the letter and clearly show it to Theodora.
Well, I certainly wouldn't know. Why would you want to stage a hostile takeover of his Bonnie Towel business?
For business? If things are going profitable, then of course I'm going to try to buy things out.
Buy things out, then perhaps murder your competition.
No. A company whose owner was just murdered doesn't tend to do very well. Bad publicity, and then you have to deal with transfer of ownership to another party, and that just sounds horrid. That's the worst thing that could happen.
Oh, you don't have to tell me about bad publicity.
Oh.
Teddy, I need you to roll a D100 for me. There's about a 50% chance you will notice something.
20.
You do not notice. Never mind. Carry on.
Actually, wait, I take it back. It's a 2. I read them backwards.
Well, shall we continue in case there are any other? So, oh, okay, but why would a skeleton be? Is this a movie prop? Has Arthur gotten into not only a new religion, but a new pastime?
Well, I think I would recognize a movie prop when I see one. No, I'm pretty sure this is a real skeleton. Is it a real skeleton?
It's a real skeleton.
A real skeleton.
Yes, like
Etched
a
onto
human
the
once lived
jawline.
inside of that, yes.
Etched onto the jawline in fine scrimshaw are the words President Frank.
President.
You know, I think someone named this fine fellow.
Who would do that?
Well, presumably his constituents. It seems he was a president.
Oh. Well, that seems like a rather twitchy thing to do.
What, elect a skeleton?
Indeed.
Well, most skeletons weren't always skeletons, you know.
Richard, underneath the first letter, there is a second.
I want to read it.
It says, "My most loyal Sinclair, while your service has been impeccable, and your loyalty is not to be questioned, I regret to inform you that I have removed you from my last will and testament. It has come to my attention that I have other beneficiaries who would be more proper to leave my company to. I trust that you will serve them as well as you have served me. Sincerely, Arthur Collinsworth."
Fairman will pick this up and just look livid.
Something upsetting you?
She'll try to peer at the paper.
Oh, he'll show it. I believe I must find Sinclair. It seems our host has had other plans. Hopefully they did not come to fruition.
Who else would you
Speaking
want?
of, Sinclair,
Yes.
what have you been up to?
The very first thing that he was up to was cleaning the puke off his shoes.
Well, naturally. I would assume that these rooms up here are your private quarters. They are slightly more sequestered off from the other servant quarters, not to mention slightly larger. It's more of a suite.
And then upon hearing what he heard, he would go try to find other people. And having been the first one with people arguing about staying in the room, he would probably peek his head in here and see Ada and go, "Mistress Adelina, may I have a word with you?"
Yes, of course.
And he would probably take a step into the meeting room that he has been in so many times with other people. Say, I am aware. You did shut the door, right?
Yeah.
I have come to find out that you invited this Mr. Strange here this evening. Were you aware that he is Master Collingsworth's son?
What has that got to do with anything, Sinclair?
Well, being a lost son, I don't remember you bringing a son into the marriage. But I believe he may be the lost son of Madame Navarre.
Of whom? Arthur knew Teddy.
Arthur has known Teddy for a while. I never thought to brought it up because I thought they were just meeting to grieve the loss of their son, who was put up for. Sorry, not that. That was way off base. But I believe Arthur put up their son for adoption at some point in time. He told me that I must not tell Teddy that, but I think time may have come to pass. You were unaware of Teddy and Arthur's past relationship?
Entirely unaware, yes.
Perhaps we might need to go speak to others in the house. But I must ask, how did you know about Webster being the son of Arthur?
Well, we had been corresponding, and he had mostly figured it out. I thought it would be a pleasant surprise for Artie this evening. Apparently dinner didn't seem to make it so well.
Very well. I don't know what to say. Seems like there may be more here to unravel than what originally seemed to me.
And how did you find this information?
Well, I have watched many meetings of Teddy's and Master Worthington's, or Master Collinsworth's.
No, I mean about the boy.
That was something that was known to me by Master Collinsworth himself, because I overheard them talking once about their son.
And you just figured out who Webster is on your own?
No, he's over there making quite the racket in the servants' quarters.
Oh.
He's not very quiet.
I see.
Loose-lipped, as one might say.
Right. Okay. Let's keep this interaction between us for now.
Very well. Would you mind if I spoke with Webster at some point in time about this?
No. If he's spouting off on his own anyway, can't be any harm.
It might at least keep the secret between the three of us. And I think that's all that Sinclair has to say to Ada.
Ada, what are you doing now?
She's poking her head back into this room. Archie. Who in this house, besides yourself, of course, would have a gun?
And that's an excellent question, Dallas.
Check your pocket.
And that's what I was going to ask. Where is my gun? Is it still on me?
Anymore.
I figured as much.
In fact, your gun is of a rather large caliber because you like only having to shoot things once.
Yep. Yeah.
In fact, your gun is of a similar caliber to what likely dealt these wounds.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. Who took my gun, Dallas?
Did anyone take your gun, or did you ditch it after you shot Arthur?
Oh.
I'm not going to ask again who took my gun.
You have no idea, but there are, 6 other people in the house you could ask.
I would like to point out I was keeping it in a arm holster under my trench coat. How did someone get it out without my knowing?
There was some scuffling. You know how it is when the lights go out, people start screaming and walking around with their hands out, and you find people. And
did I notice anything obvious about that?
You do not recall someone intentionally taking your gun.
Well, damn. I say nothing. Is there anything else about the crime scene that is strange or noteworthy in any way?
You have to be more specific than that, man.
Okay. I'm gonna stand back and try to look at this from a different angle.
Okay.
I don't like that angle. I don't know how to be more specific here.
So,
is there anything that I would not expect to see at the scene of a murder? Is there anything that makes this look staged?
That's an interesting question. So the only thing you find particularly odd is, given the pattern of 4 gunshots, it is likely, if it was a single assailant, that they were moving while firing. And yet they had impeccable accuracy despite the darkness.
Here's a question. Could I have done this with my level of skill with my own weapon?
Probably.
And that's including the military training?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Where did Archie keep hit the targets? You're not sure how you would have known where the target you were aiming for was.
Unless I was deliberately planning to murder someone, in which case I would make note.
Exactly.
Where did Adi keep his secrets?
Where did Artie keep his secrets?
Yes. Did I ever see him do anything suspicious? And if I did, / when I did, where did that take place?
Official people in the office.
That's not what I'm asking.
Where he had the secret meetings was back in the hunting lodge room, the trophy room.
All right.
Endless nooks and crannies, a couple secret bookcases. You were privy to a lot of this.
So I will not respond to Ada about the gun, but I will suggest that we should go check out the hunting room. You know the one.
Sure, but I was never in it.
Yes, but do you have the key?
I would assume Sinclair might.
Can I check his body for the keys?
You can check his body for the keys.
What do I find?
You find his pipe.
Okay.
And you find his keyring, his personal keyring.
I swipe the keyring. Do I have a bob of paper in my... just a nondescript thing of paper in my trench coat anywhere? Is that logical?
Probably. That makes sense.
I would like to take that paper and stage it in a way that would look very tempting if someone tried to disturb the crime scene, so I would know if anyone disturbed the crime scene.
Excellent.
Because I can't think of any other ways of trying to do that. And then I will go and follow Ada to the hunting room.
Clearly tracking blood. Will you go? While you're doing that, we're going to check in on Rosalind.
Yes. I am deeply disturbed that the detective would not let me perform blast bites over the body. But I
Now,
know.
you would have heard the detective leave the room.
Oh.
The doors going into the entryway are just saloon doors, so...
I will do that, but first I must go to the kitchen. I need a colander. So Rosalind will be making her way to the kitchen.
What's wrong with the first colander, Rosalind?
It was poisoned.
Rosalind, while you were rummaging about for colanders in an unfamiliar kitchen, you accidentally open a secret compartment.
Oh my noodle.
And there's a scroll of paper inside.
What does it say?
It is a very well-written last will and testament.
Oh.
And it lists Ada as the sole beneficiary of the estate, the company, everything. Further, you've seen many checks written by Arthur, and this is not his handwriting.
It is not his handwriting?
It is not his handwriting. It is likely a copy, forgery, fake, or otherwise attempted impersonation of his last will and testament.
Oh my, this will not do. This will not do. I will tuck the note away safely within my pirate vest.
But you do find a colander and plenty of fresh tomatoes if you need to whip up some marinara real fast.
This is wonderful. Oh, poor Arthur. Spices to spices, crust to crust. Once in heaven, the strippers your lust. Rosalind will prepare a colander, freshly ornated with the tomatoes of our Lord. And then she will try to make her way into finding Ada, the poor wife of the macaroni partner of, terrible. Rosalind will try to make her way to find Ada, whoever she may be.
With colander and tomatoes?
Oh, without question. Where else would I be without them?
Excellent. You do walk past the dead body of Arthur on the way.
Oh my. Arthur, I know you are not the greatest of men. You struggled. You struggled with sin. But you have done well. You have donated to a great cause. You're providing so many SpaghettiOs for the children all over the world with your funds. and I cannot thank you enough. And seeing as she had given the last bites on her way out, she sighs and moves on to find Ada.
Excellent. You put a tomato on his chest.
Freshly sized.
You have to brush a obnoxious piece of paper aside in order to do that.
What piece of paper might this be?
It's just a crumpled up piece of paper.
I would like to read it.
It doesn't say anything.
Well done. Now, where might Ada be?
You can go exploring for her, but we're actually going to check in on Webster. Webster, any development, or are you just still monologuing?
Oh my, this long bout of monologuing has left me particularly famished. Even after having eaten dinner, I think I shall go to the kitchen and see if I can scrounge something up that I don't have to prepare myself. And so I'm going to go to the pantry, which I believe is this room here. Am I right on that?
There is a selection of salted meats, so I would not recommend eating them without cooking them, and a plethora of vegetables fresh from the garden.
Is there any of my favorite comfort food, sauerkraut?
There's probably about a 20% chance. Roll a 1d100.
Okay. Let me get my dice. That's one of them. There's the other one. I rolled an 18.
No, there's no sauerkraut.
Is there anything else that I might have found in lieu of finding sauerkraut?
You found some leeks and a couple of potatoes.
Leeks and potatoes? I shall construct a rough homunculus out of the leeks and the potatoes.
Twitch demands Cheez-Its, apparently. When did Cheez-Its come out?
There's only one way to know for sure.
There are several boxes of Cheez-Its. This is an educational channel. Cheez-Its were first marketed in 1921.
Oh, Cheez-Its, my favorite. I shall enjoy a nice box of Cheez-Its with my new potato and leek homunculus friend. How are you, Mr. Homunculus? Oh, I am doing very good. How are you, Mr. Webster? Oh, I am doing all right. My biological father was just killed in the front of me. Oh, it does not sound very good.
I love this characterization, but nobody's going to believe you're the murderer.
That I am the murderer or that I am not the murderer?
I'll get back to you on that.
All right.
The murderer does know who the murderer is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna tuck potato leek into my breast pocket so he's kind of sticking out and can see things as he is going around the world.
All right. We're going to check back in on Rashad.
Yes, I think we ought to find Sinclair and, well, catch up on all of this awful business. Do you see any
Teddy,
other...
you had a question about who else he might be leaving it to?
I did have a question about, who would he be leaving it to? Any thoughts on that, Richard?
Oh, someone more appropriate. Well, it had certainly been my design if I ever took over to lend things over to Sinclair. I have no desire to run the business, and if, well, it makes sense that Arthur would have the same design. But if he found someone else, my assumption would be his wife, or, well, that young chap that floated in sounded awfully keen on an Artie being his father. If Arthur knew about it, looks like there's an heir on the loose.
Well, I don't know. He seemed quite surprised by that young man.
Surprised? Maybe. Surprised doesn't mean, well, he didn't know the boy existed.
Right. Well, maybe we shouldn't stay in this room with the skeleton for much longer, even though he is an elected official.
Nah.
Yes, I'm quite disturbed all the same that, an elected official should be in a steady and not some kind of proper grave.
Right, or a biology classroom.
Sure. Do you see any other letters around here or anything else that might help us discover the horrible events that led to tonight?
Anything on those little shelves?
The only thing of note on the shelves are an empty holster designed to fit a rather large pistol.
Well, she's not going to touch it, but she will point it out.
It is empty. There is not a pistol in it.
You don't think that was ours, do you?
Probably not. What really matters is who was winning this chess game.
I feel like in the other game that we used this map for, we established that that's not actually a chessboard, it's a pie show board.
Correct.
Oh, well, who's winning the pie show game?
It is a fresh game. It's too early to tell.
A standoff, I see.
Perhaps he was trying to play himself.
An interesting notion. We shall keep that in mind.
Archie, buddy.
All right. Let's goes into the room.
The room as much as you've seen it hundreds of times.
First things first, is there a phone?
There is a phone.
I would like to try and call the police and let them know there's been a murder.
Moida. You pick up the phone and the line is dead.
Yeah, I figured. Okay. I click the phone down ominously back onto its retriever, whatever it's called. I don't know. I got nothing. Where's the secret safe, bookshelf, the secret thing? Where's the secret
So
thing?
the one with the good stuff is above the toilet in here.
The one what?
The one with the good stuff is above the toilet in here.
So that's the drug safe. I hear you. All right, let's check that out.
As you pop it open, you notice, the usual war memorabilia, the journal where Arthur kept all of his PTSD dreams. You all would bond over that sometimes. But there is a new, rather large, rolled up piece of paper. You pull it out and investigate?
Absolutely.
It is a sealed and certified by his lawyer copy of Arthur's last will and testament. Interestingly, the sole beneficiary of everything, the company, the house, the lot, is Theodora Navarre.
I choose to keep that pertinent information to myself. It goes into another trench coat pocket.
Whoosh.
Do I see any traces of my gun?
You do not.
Okay. Anything else in the room seem out of the ordinary?
The bourbon is just about gone.
Was Artie a bourbon drinker?
What was that?
Was Artie a bourbon drinker?
Artie was a bourbon drinker.
Is that suspicious in any way?
It is. He always kept his bourbon full.
Ah. So we had someone over recently then.
Or had a binge night of drinking.
True. Well, that's everything interesting in this room.
Did you find anything?
Nope. Nothing terribly interesting. Except he always liked to keep his bourbon full, and that's almost out. Has he been drinking more than usual?
Ada, there's a 75% chance you know he's lying. Roll a D100. You know this man well. Like, this is a good friend of Artie's.
That's a 35.
Yeah, you know he's lying. Not about the bourbon, but about finding anything interesting.
Listen, if he was down here at night drinking, you know I wouldn't know. What are you hiding from me?
I am not at liberty to discuss an ongoing case.
Archie, I'm his wife, for crying out loud.
And I'm trying very hard not to implicate you in a criminal case, but the evidence that I'm finding isn't doing you any favors.
Maybe you're implicating yourself here. You carry a gun. You're not...
Archie will look around to make sure that no one is within earshot, and he'll lean in and he'll say, Ada, I don't know whose I can trust right now. The gun went missing.
How did you gun?
It must have been during the scuffle when all the lights went out.
Word. Archie, are you kidding me right now?
I wish. It's just making my job harder.
Anyone else in the group drink as much bourbon as Artie?
Me, but you know I haven't been over in at least a month.
Right.
Teddy, what are you up to?
Well, having thoroughly investigated the office, she's going to head back out into the library and assume that Richard will probably come with.
But of course.
Well, I don't know about you, but I might want to take a step outside into the courtyard.
Fresh air does sound, refreshing.
Right, precisely. Anything, intriguing up here? Around here?
It is still raining, so you probably don't want to go out to the courtyard proper, but the deck is covered.
Yes, that will stay on the deck then.
Nothing strange or out of the ordinary outside. I mean, Mrs. Collinsworth is known in the social circles, Richard would know this, to keep a magnificent garden.
Now the question is, does he still hide? And Richard will reach under the bench and flip over pots looking for old hiding places that Arthur might still be using.
You do actually find his backup pipe.
Aha! Well,
Just a little bit of tobacco.
well, at least he still enjoyed some things. That's good. Not that I care.
It does seem you might care a little.
How do you think the investigation is going? Should we check on that?
Well, I mean, we probably should, but I don't terribly want to be back in the room looking at his dead body.
No. Nor I. But, well, I would hope the police proper should arrive soon, and perhaps we can all just go home and forget this whole affair happened.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yes, but I still do want to find Sinclair and see if he knows anything about this letter I have in my pocket.
You know, I wouldn't mind finding Sinclair either. Let's see what we can do about that.
After you, darling.
And back in we go.
Speaking of Sinclair.
Well, Sinclair knows of someone who is leaking information that his mistress has asked him to keep silent. So he will come back and start looking around for Mr. Strange.
You likely hear Webster impersonating his food in the kitchen.
I should give you a name. Oh, your sound very much like a name. How's about the name, Winkle P. Wallace? Oh, there's a very equitable name, my good sir.
Mr. Strange.
Oh, you startled me. Please don't sneak up on me like that again.
Do you mean us?
Yes, you startled us. Thank you, voice from the sky.
Terribly sorry, sir.
Sirs, if you don't mind, there's two of us here.
Sorry for disturbing the both of you. Mr.
Quite all right. How can I be of service to you?
Well, hold up just a second. I need to make a note to pick up more Cheez-Its at the store.
Oh, they're quite delicious. I'm sorry for dipping into your reserve.
That is very fine. You seem troubled. And I happen to overhear that Master Collinsworth was your father.
No, you heard that? Oh, I did not mean for the information to be revealed this way. I had hoped that since we were not able to have the heartfelt reunions that I was hoping for, maybe we could just leave it at I was being a stranger and my car had been broken down.
Yes, well, currently I think that's still a thing, but as you are terribly upset and can't seem to hold your tongue, perhaps I should let you know that your mother may also be here.
My mother came in from New Jersey.
Who is your mother?
Don't you
know your mother?
Yes, don't you recall? She raised me. She's the invalid wheelchair man, and she lives in New Jersey.
This is very good because I was afraid you were adopted.
Now that you mention it, she is a Jamaican lady.
Sinclair's not laughing. Yes. I think you should come with me. I feel that I should probably introduce you at least to Miss Teddy, who you may have met earlier. Perhaps people have begun to make their way back to check on the detective.
Oh, yes.
Would you like to join me?
I think that would be prudent. Let me ask Mr. Winklepie Wallace if he would like to join.
That invitation was extended to both of you.
Oh, still, I think he would like to have his own say. Would you like to go return to the scene of the crime, Mr. Winklepie Wallace? Oh, yes, I think that would be quite a good idea. Thank you for asking, Mr. Strange. Oh, you're quite welcome.
Sinclair left.
Sinclair out!
I certainly hope that you have a strong stomach or a stomach at all to speak of, Mr. Winklepie Wallace.
Ada, what are you up to? I assume you and Archibald are coming back into and definitely seeing Rosalind messing with the body.
The player is finishing dinner, so bear with me just a moment.
Also trying to breathe after Webster's jokes.
What are you talking about, jokes?
Ada's following in, shaking her head, very suspicious of Archie right now.
Okay, turn order doesn't matter. Go wild. Everyone goes silent.
Yep.
Can I roll to find out who the hell has my gun?
Sure, there's about a 10% chance that you will discover who has your gun.
How does an 87 hit you?
Stupid close. You're trying to think, like, there's only a couple of moments that could have even been possible when your gun was taken.
Indeed.
Sinclair, may I have a moment?
Yes, just let me... and Sinclair is, like, looking over Richard's anywhere there's, like, a blood stain. Are you all right? I've been hoping to run into you all night.
Oh, yes, I'm fine. My shoes are ruined, which is horrid, but, no, I'm all right. And you?
Taking a look at him, I bet I can get that out for you.
Thank
Of course. Yes, very disturbing things. Did I see Richard come in with Teddy?
Yes.
What? Have you been talking to Teddy much?
Well, yes,
There are many family secrets that I would like to share with you, including that I feel that Mr. Strange may be her son.
Her son? But I thought he was Arthur's son.
That would be one and the same, if that is true.
What?
Oh.
How loud is this conversation?
Loud enough.
Yeah.
Teddy has the fan
we're in a
up and is
small room.
hiding behind it as best and as discreetly as a nice lady can.
I'm very sorry. I may have misheard you. I was not trying to eavesdrop, but what did you just say?
You may want to go speak with the Miss Navarre, who just stepped over there.
Okay, but Good evening, my dear lady.
Evening, young man.
What was this you were talking about quite loudly?
Oh, I wasn't talking about anything.
Sinclair would probably just like hit his hand on the table now and point at Teddy and be like, "Why do you act like you don't know my master and don't know this man?"
But because we had a son, but I don't know what he told me he died in childbirth. It was all very difficult for me. I was barely conscious for any of it.
Yes, I'm afraid that is not quite the truth.
Then what is the truth, Mr. Sinclair?
So
your son, Miss Navir, was put up for adoption.
And
we could not. I did not want to ruin this family, so I never told anyone. It was Master Collinsworth's desire. But I'm afraid that Mistress Collinsworth also knows that, and he's like looking directly at Ada.
Yes, I am aware, and it was long before I ever met Artie that any of this happened.
Well, yes, it was over 20 years ago now, but Sinclair, why wouldn't you tell me? Any of the times that I've been over here, and you know why we pretend not to know each other, and she, does the meaningful side-eye at Ada.
Oh, is this still going on?
I mean, nothing untoward. He's married. Or he was.
Married, and yet he chose to make you his sole beneficiary.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
I'm sorry, he what?
And I take out the copy of the notarized will, and I slam it down on the table.
Yes.
Oh, so that's the other person then. Oh, well, Sinclair, he had you taking over ownership and, well, changed his mind. Here's an unofficial type letter. I hope to discuss it in private, but since we're exposing the dead secrets, well, here's this one. And Fairman will give Sinclair the letter he discovered. Or they discovered.
And while we're putting things on the table, Dick was planning to buy out his business.
Of course, aren't I always? Why is this a surprise?
Oh, it's not.
Richard was looking to buy out his business. He's a banker, for God's sake. But, I mean...
Where's Ada going?
Yeah, where's Ada going?
Ada's going and retrieving the rest of the bourbon bottle and just downing it.
Nice touch.
And then just kind of slumping down next to the wall.
And as Ada comes back, Sinclair just takes, or that note said, that note just said another beneficiary, right? Not Ada. That was a different letter. Okay.
The one that Ada, the Apothecarian, has.
Yeah, Sinclair's anger doesn't know where to put it, so he just rips the letter in two and throws it at the table. I'll never keep another secret for him again.
That's right, Sinclair. You tell him. Well, you'll tell us.
Well, I think I've told most of you already.
Well, jolly good then.
I guess, Madam Garfunkel,
Yes.
did you know that Mr. Strange is most likely the son of our dear Teddy over here? And
My holy garlic toast. I did not know this.
that
Mama?
I guess we'll talk later, dear. I'm going to have a seat.
I think that would be a prudent idea. Pardon me while I retire to the vomit corner for just one more moment.
Nobody leave this room.
Oh no,
until we've solved the murder.
It's in this room, don't you? Okay, I'm
That is
feeling much better now.
Puking is an acceptable excuse.
Well, he didn't leave the room.
Well, this room sure has an abundance of bodily fluids in it, does it not?
more than I am prepared to clean.
Well, fortunately, you won't have to. As Arthur steps out from within the fireplace.
Ah, zombie, kill it!
Holy garlic toast.
He fires a warning shot. All of you stay put.
Well, that's a
Those
dick
of you
move.
Excuse me,
Those of
mister.
you who know him well see a certain madness in his eyes.
Excuse me, Mr. Arthur. May I please be permitted to retire to the vomit corner once more?
No, you will stay right where you are.
Okay.
Archie, he is holding your gun.
Yes, I figured.
I invited you here, except you, Glare, to tell you all that I am cutting ties with you. But I didn't want to do it simply by signing you all out of my life. No. I had to actually remove you manually. Tender look over at Theodora. Except you, Teddy. If you would just get your head down, please, while I deal with these others, then we can resume in a moment.
Even our son that you didn't tell me was alive. That son.
Hello, Papa.
I did not invite him here, but now that he has made an appearance, then I suppose he will die with the rest.
I am too young to die.
I would just like to point out that this is probably a revolver.
Yeah, like how many shots
He
does
already
he have
fired
left?
4 shots.
Five now.
Did he load it?
Did he?
Well, he did have enough time when he was hiding in the fireplace.
But even still, at most, it would have, what, 6, 8 chain? Okay, I guess 8 would be enough.
But what are you going to do?
How close does he get?
He is currently standing about 10 feet away from you. He has a gun in his hand.
Yes, I'm aware. Is he monologuing still?
A little bit, but he looks like he's about to start shooting. Unless someone says something to cause him to monologue more.
How did you do it, Artie?
Do what, Dick?
Step through that fireplace over there. That's quite a clever trick.
Secret passages, they're all over the house.
I have a question.
Points the revolver at you. You get one, and then I will end your miserable little existence. It shouldn't have even started 20 years ago, and I see no reason for it to continue now.
In all fairness, I do agree with him on that one. You are incredibly annoying.
Hey, that's not what I don't see myself as being annoying. Anyhow, if that's you standing there with a revolver in your hand, who is this on the floor, and why did he have to die?
I don't know how this chap died. I bought the body from a school.
Did you then? Wait, was his head intact when you brought him here?
Yes, a rather ugly chap as well, though about the same size as me. I was able to put a spare suit on him.
Did he look exactly like you?
He did not. That's why I had to mess up his face. And don't think I don't see you over there, Sinclair and Richard. Moves the gun to point at the two of you. I know all about your affairs and your dealings behind my back, your conspiracy to take my company from me.
It's not conspiracy, it's just business. You'd do the same to me in a heartbeat. Again, why is this surprising?
That might be true for you, Dick.
It's
but
just,
not for Sinclair.
It's just business.
Hey,
But-
Dallas.
We just...
Yes?
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut anyone off, but if he is distracted by this banter, what would I have? How would I be able to realistically move quickly enough to tackle him before he could get a shot off?
You'd have about a 50% chance.
Are you telling me to roll the dice?
I like the odds.
Oh no!
Okay, while he's rolling dice, Sinclair would say, just business, and completely turn around from Arthur and say, I thought we just discussed this last week. I thought we had something.
No,
I rolled a 90.
Hold that thought. Sinclair and Richard are about to have an argument.
No, I'm telling taking over his business is just business, not about us, obviously.
Is there some type of role, or just like...
This is just drama.
Well, don't ever speak like that again. I don't know why you would say something like that when I just stood in front of a gun. And Sinclair just like sits down, like he's done with this. He's crying.
Archie, you tackle him, but he is still going to try to shoot you. How are you wrestling the gun out of his hands?
Aggressively.
Okay, roll a d100.
Do I have advantage because I know how he fights?
Ooh,
Like
yes.
the dirty dog that he is.
Yes.
He's not the only dirty dog.
Also, I love the touch from the Pastafarian of putting a colander on Ada's head.
Is there...
go rolling out this door back here?
The door is locked.
Is there a threshold I'm trying to beat with this roll?
He rolled a 37.
I rolled a 57.
Excellent. You are able to wrestle the gun out of his hands, but it takes a lot of effort, and several stray shots are fired. I need Webster, Rosalind, and Sinclair to each roll a d100. If you roll above a 50, you do not get hit.
I don't like those odds. I'm sorry. I don't like those odds.
Sinclair is definitely hit because he wasn't looking and could not dodge.
Sinclair has been shot in the back. Rosalind, you're fine. Webster, what did you get?
I got a 57.
Excellent. You just had a grazing shot. You're bleeding, but you're fine.
That hurt me quite a lot, my dear father.
Is Sinclair dead?
Sinclair is dead. Sinclair was shot through the heart from the back.
That's too bad. What a
Oh
shame.
no, Sinclair! You were my best friend. Apart from you, Winkle P. Wallace.
Do I assume I wrestled the gun away from him?
Did wrestle the gun away from him, but he is still like kicking and fighting.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I would like to take a hold of the barrel of the gun and pistol whip him across the face several times.
Ada was going to smash the bottle on top of his head too.
You can do that too. We'll do both of them simultaneously.
Smashing success. You all are able to render him entirely unconscious.
Fearman is just sobbing uncontrollably and holding Sinclair's corpse.
I have the gun, yes?
You have the gun.
I'm gonna check the chambers. How many bullets are left?
1.
Of course. I'm gonna look down at Archie's. Damn it! We all have A names.
Everyone has an A name.
We all have A names this game. It's ridiculous.
Don't.
I'm sorry. I look down at Artie, and I just sort of sigh, and I say, "Artie, I knew that the nightmares would get you eventually, but I didn't know it would be this bad." And I will shoot him through the head.
Paul,
Damn.
that was very metal.
Artie is dead.
What a tragic accident just befell our mutual acquaintance. Understood?
You would know about accidents, wouldn't you?
Yes, well.
Shot him straight through the head.
I don't care. He can die 1,000 times.
Okay.
And to think I was married to him for 15 years. You, and she points at Teddy, can have this place and everything in it.
Oh, I don't want it.
Burn it then.
Teddy,
It would be a good way of getting rid of the evidence.
you take
Come on,
the
I'll show you all how to
house.
clean up a crime scene.
Where's
Are we
the
going to montage?
Dismembering the body. Do.
Richard gets out the full set of chef blades and gets to work.
I
my
was
goodness.
joking. I thought we were just going to burn the place.
This has taken a turn.
Teddy's
Someone
gonna
get
go
the
join
acid
Webster in
and,
the
we'll
bonnet
put it
corner.
up in the bathtub and
That is the show.
While you guys are
what a way to
laughing,
end.
Friends,
That
enemies,
That was the first
and
time
others.
that
That
people
is
in
the
the Twitch
show.
stream have tuned in. This is the most casualties in any game that I have been in on this channel.
It's true.
This is
It's the
not
highest
normal.
body count we have.
This is not normal.
I have one question. Like, some of these things were planned and some of these were off the cuff, but I have a question to see if one of my players figured out a planned thing. Archie, do you know when he got the gun?
I've been giving that a good amount of thought, and I'm not 100% certain.
Remember when he greeted you?
Yeah. With the hug.
With all the hugging, not
And
just
he
a
would-
casual hug.
And he would know exactly where I kept my gun.
And he would know exactly where you kept your gun.
I had the thought at some point, because I realized I never explicitly... I asked you if I had a gun. I never explicitly asked you if it was on my person at any given point.
Exactly.
Once I realized that, I was like, well, crap.
I was also really surprised that there wasn't a "they both reached for the gun" joke at some point, but there wasn't really a good opening for it.
Oh man,
There were several points where I was going to say that I had my hand on my gun, but it just never felt like the right moment to interject, so I didn't.
Yeah. No, that I think went really well. I hope you as the audience enjoyed it. But it is coming up on 10 o'clock. Anna, want to read us out?
Yeah, of course. Well, that is all for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope to see you back next week, same time, for the Cuddle Vagabond Chronicles. Check out the event page on Facebook, and once the video of this week is uploaded to YouTube, you can find links to give us a tip and connect with us more in the description. Have a good night, everyone.
Before everyone leaves, I need to say officially on the record. So I am going to be taking a step back from Saturday live streams. They may still continue. I'm 100% in support of that, but I need my Saturdays back. I'm going to be running the occasional live stream project midweek, probably on Wednesday nights, though dates may vary. So keep an eye, if you follow us in our Discord, keep an eye there. Also, if you follow MacArthur Adventures on Facebook, I will post events when I'm hosting events. So thank you. Sorry for that interjection.
No problem at all. Important information to relay. So to close out, wash your hands, wear a mask, and stay safe out there. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Hope you weren't too traumatized.
I don't know. While you guys were all having fun just like mutilating Arthur, I'm over here just like shedding a tear because I really didn't want Richard's and Sinclair's relationship to end on that note. Like,